LEGO has released over 1,000 Star Wars minifigures over the years, and several of these minifigures are exceptionally good. However, some of these minifigures are not that good, and have several flaws that make them worse than the rest. It is actually surprising to me how few really bad minifigures there are. As I scroll through the endless amounts of minifigures on Brickset, I could only get a handful of minifigures that I think can be classified as the worst. Most of these minifigures have better versions of them, and these are simply older minifigures from a different time in LEGO Star Wars. Still, I compiled a list of 6 minifigures I think are some of the worst LEGO Star Wars minifigures. The first minifigure on this list is Alderbedo from the year 2000, which isn't really a minifigure but more a brick-built character, but I decided to include him anyway. This figure was introduced in the pod racing bucket, which was a strange set on its own, and it doesn't look anything like the character from The Phantom Menace. We later got to see a new molded piece for this character, which looked somewhat better than the first version, but overall still a weird character to incorporate in LEGO in the first place. The next minifigure I want to talk about is another Podracer themed character, and that is Gasgano from the Moss Espa Podrace set in 1999. Once again, a much older minifigure that is more brick built than anything else, and doesn't look like the original source material at all. Both Gasgano and Alderbedo aren't likely to ever appear in any modern LEGO Star Wars set again, so collectors have to deal with these old and outdated versions. Jumping forward to more modern years, I want to talk about Luke Skywalker. Although most Luke Skywalker minifigures are really good, there are some that aren't that good, notably the Tatooine Luke Skywalker from 2014. This minifigure is bad for one notable reason: the terrible face print. This minifigure doesn't represent LEGO Luke Skywalker really well, and the several lines on his face didn't work as well as many people and LEGO thought it would. The previous versions of Farm Boy Luke were much better, and later versions looked much better as well. For that reason, I included this one as one of the worst LEGO Star Wars minifigures. Chancellor Palpatine from the Venator class Star Destroyer in 2009 is another one of the worst LEGO Star Wars minifigures, once again for its horrendous face print. The Clone Wars face prints are really strange looking, and I personally don't like them at all, but Palpatine is definitely one of the worst from the whole Clone Wars line of sets. We have also seen a much better version of this minifigure released very recently, which makes this original figure look even worse. The next figure is a small droid type minifigure, and that is RJ83 from the Crimson Firehawk. This isn't necessarily a bad minifigure, I just personally think it is one of the worst because it's from a junior set and it looks really weird. I don't think it really represents the droid from the source material that well, and it should rather have gotten a full mold such as BD1. The transparent brick with the print looks really weird, and it's just a minifigure that stands out as one of the worst minifigures to me. Comment what you think of this one. Another controversial opinion is the latest Stormtrooper design, notably for the helmet. We have seen several versions of this minifigure since 2019, and it has appeared in several different sets and is the new modern Stormtrooper variant that is here to stay. However, the dual molded helmet is just not that great, and in my opinion makes the new Stormtrooper one of the worst minifigures out there. The helmet cannot even turn properly and looks way too oversized. What makes it worse is that previous versions of the Stormtrooper were so good, a near perfect minifigure in my opinion. Overall, this is one of the worst minifigures in my opinion. Anyway, that is it for the list. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and then I will see you in the next one. God bless you, and cheers.